Coach, congrats on 4 wins in a row. Just kind of talk about how big that was for a team, not just obviously for the wins, but just the mental aspect as well.
Well, it was a good week. We started out by going to Fresno and being a real good Fresno State team, and then played fairly well against Valparaiso. And it was just good mentally to get back at home, get some wins under our belt, and change the feeling of our players. I mean, we'd come up close on a number of different occasions, and it's always good to be back home one and to start a mini winning streak.
You know, it all comes down to pitching. You talked about potential-wise and the depth of this bullpen and rotation. You saw a glimpse of it this past weekend. You know, how is it you hope to keep that going for this next week with the big series with LMU and, you know, make sure that it wasn't a one-time thing?
Well, it starts with our starting pitching. And we have a 4-game series this weekend, so Joey Wagman will be thrown into the mix. But our bullpen's pretty solid. You know, we were able to roll out guys that when we do get to the bullpen, there's not a big drop-off, or there's not a drop-off at all in certain instances. So usually that's not the case. But, you know, we just need to – our stars need to give us 5-6 innings of solid outing, and then we're able to bridge the gap, and we're strong at the end with Jeff Johnson.
Talk about LMU, and, you know, they look good on paper, but just kind of talk about their strengths and kind of – you know what it's going to take to beat these kids.
Well, they're good. They're 9-4 and they played a quality non-conference schedule up to this point. They pitch well. Starting pitching is very good. They have a lot of returners, both on the mound and in the field. So this is a good Loyola team, and they'll come in, and it'll be a good test for us.
What are the good I don't know if surprises or, you know, one of the big pluses for you so far has been Mike Miller at shortstop. He kind of struggled last year. He's hurt. Just kind of talk about what he's added to the team, and has it been surprising for you so far?
Well, Mike's a real hard worker, and Mike's situation last year is just like most first-year players in our program. They just need to get comfortable, and it's a confidence thing. And this year he's a completely different ball player. He has been from day one in the fall, and is really there's been no doubt that he's been our starting shortstop, and the added offensive output's been very beneficial for us. He's been our best hitter, best clutch hitter, and he's played a real solid shortstop. So having Mike kind of hold down the fort until we can get some of our bigger bats into the equation has really helped us.
Hey, Coach, we heard you talk about pitching a couple minutes ago. I mean, just 7 runs allowed in four games. I mean, how nice is that as the manager, the head coach, to see those type of stats? And then it really takes some pressure, I guess, off the offense. In reaction, the offense is now swinging the bat pretty well.
Yeah, well, when you have good pitching, it does take the pressure off the offense. And now you're worried about trying to manufacture 1 run an inning and not trying to go for the big inning. And so we've had that. We've had pretty good quality starting pitching. Our bullpen has been extremely strong, and we're strong at the end of the game. So we just need to continue to do that, because if you pitch and play defense, then you're always going to be in every ball game, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. That's really important. And it allows your offense to kind of get a feel what they're doing. A lot of times early in the season, your offenses are slow to get rolling, and that's the case with us right now. So we probably added a couple of players into the mix this past weekend, but there's 2 or 3 other guys we really got to get their bats heated up.
Yeah, I think I read a quote you had in the paper about hitting being contagious, which is what we know.
Yeah.
And it seemed like this weekend the bats, this whole week, I guess the 4 games, the bats really woke up. I mean, was that a product again, pitching and not having the pressure there, or is it just one of those things where somebody started to hit and just kind of the dominoes are starting to fall?
Yeah, it's just little by little. You add more offensive players into the mix, and we're still not there yet by any means. And on Sunday's game, we were we lacked discipline, in the strike zone, about hitters going outside the strike zone and swinging at pitches that they are not really going to be successful at. So we need to get better in that, and that's what this week is focused on from an offensive standpoint. Is we need to have some strike zone recognition, pitch recognition, and swing at quality pitches within our zone. And if we do that, then at least we give ourselves a chance to be successful. And Sunday wasn't a very good day for that. But 3 out of the 4 games, we did swing the bat pretty well, and we only made 2 errors on the 3-game series on the weekend. So, and 10 errors in 10 games, which is pretty good. You see a cleaner brand of baseball, quicker, obviously, with these new bats. Whereas games used to always go over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Now most everything's under 3 hours and 2.5, 2 hours 45 minutes. So it's a good brand of baseball. I think more of the short game comes into play. So that's where we are at this point of the season.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.